as Corolla park for Banana Junction like this, and policeman say, come down for motor, contact the Reverend Father, say, you are under arrest. You understand me? I no be police. And him be police. We come down say you under arrest. And the Reverend Father entered the motor for back. You understand me? As he enter for back like this now, me are there for front. Then come they do bidi for back. As this man and me under the front. I come they ask them what thing they happen for that back. What thing they happen? Small time. As this boy now come match break now, they use sellotape. The policeman now use sellotape now. Cover the man nose, cover the man mouth, both eye. The man died.
On the evening of September 1st, 2017, Reverend Father Cyriacus Onunkwo was driving along a familiar road in Imo State, Nigeria. He was heading to his hometown of Osina in Ideato North local government area to join his family in planning the burial of his father, who had passed away just some days earlier. The priest, who had been serving in Lagos, was traveling in his Toyota Corolla car, and everything seemed normal until he reached a place called Banana Junction in Orlu. At around 8:35 p.m., a Toyota Avalon car suddenly appeared and blocked his path. 4 armed men jumped out of the vehicle and surrounded the priest. Before Father Cyriacus could understand what was happening, the men dragged him out of his car and threw him into the back seat of their own vehicle. They used sellotape to seal his mouth, eyes, and nose, thereby making it nearly impossible for him to see or breathe. As the men worked quickly to complete their evil plan, Father Cyriacus kept begging them to let him go. He told them that his father had just died and that he was only trying to get home to arrange the burial. Sadly, all his pleas fell on deaf ears. The gang took his mobile phone and drove away with him to an unknown location, while other members of their group drove off in his Toyota Corolla. People who witnessed the terrible crime quickly informed the police about what they had just seen. The next morning, being September 2nd, the divisional police officer from a town in an entirely different local government area contacted his colleague in Orlu with a very devastating information. An unidentified body of a man had been discovered in his area and had been taken to the mortuary. Police officers from Orlu, accompanied by another Reverend Father named Kenneth, rushed to the community to see if the body could be that of the missing priest. When they arrived at the mortuary, their worst fears were confirmed. The lifeless body was indeed that of Father Cyriacus Onunkwo. The tragic murder of the Catholic priest angered a lot of people within Imo State and beyond, especially when they considered the fact that his father had just passed away and was yet to be buried. The then governor of Imo State, Rocha Sokorocha, immediately released a statement calling the murder senseless and wicked. He directed the then State Commissioner of Police, Chris Ezike, to use every resource available to find those responsible for the horrible crime. The then Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, also ordered a full investigation into the matter. The police began their investigation immediately, and what they discovered was both shocking and heartbreaking. According to the investigation, Father Cyriacus had been abducted, tied up, and also had his mouth and nose sealed with sellotape before being dumped in the trunk of the Toyota Avalon car used by the criminals in carrying out the operation. Since he was unable to breathe properly, the priest had suffocated to death while trapped in the vehicle. The police investigation was intense and also covered 3 different states, which included Imo, Anambra, and Rivers. For 5 days straight, the detectives worked tirelessly, using modern technology and good old-fashioned detective work to track down the criminals. Their hard work eventually paid off when they made their very first arrest. On September 5th, just 4 days after the crime had been committed, police arrested a man named Jude Madu at control post in Owerri, within the same Imo State. The 32-year-old man was found in possession of Father Cyriacus' mobile phone. But what made this arrest even more shocking was the fact that Jude Madu was a police corporal. A man who had been given a police uniform and also sworn to protect citizens was now the leader of a kidnapping and murder gang. The following day, being September 6th, the police made more arrests. They caught a man named Izuchukwu Okafor, also known as Small, at Presidential Hotel in Port Harcourt, Rivers State. On the same day, they arrested Cyril Onyema at control post in Owerri. Cyril, who had studied public administration at Federal Polytechnic Nekede, confessed that he was the one who drove the Toyota Avalon car that was used in the crime. The arrest continued as police picked up Emmanuel Ozibo at an NNPC fuel station near control post in Owerri. When they searched him, they found Father Cyriacus' wristwatch on him. Another suspect, Victor Ikechukwu, was also arrested that same day. He turned out to be the owner of the Toyota Avalon car that the gang had used to commit the terrible crime. The 6th suspect, Ifechukwu Nwozu, was arrested on September 7th. During questioning, the suspects confessed to their roles in the kidnapping and death of the priest. Izuchukwu Okafor told the police that the operation was organized by Corporal Jude Madu. He claimed that he did not know their victim was a priest and that they had not intended to kill him. According to Okafor, when they saw Father Cyriacus on the road, they thought he was just another target for kidnapping. He explained that Madu had asked him to get a car and told him they were going somewhere, but never revealed the full plan. Okafor also revealed that when they got to Banana Junction, Madu ordered them to stop in front of the Reverend Father's car. The police officer then approached Father Cyriacus and told him he was under arrest. This was how they tricked the priest into stopping. As soon as the priest stopped, they opened the door and dragged him out of his car into their own vehicle. Once they had him in their car, they sealed his mouth and nose with tape and then allowed the poor man to suffocate to death. The investigation did not end there. The police discovered that the gang had been involved in other serious crimes. A few days after arresting the main suspects, the police caught a 16-year-old boy named Onyedikachi Inyaka, who was an indigene of Imo State. The teenage boy was arrested in Owerri North following a tip from informants. When police searched his location, they found a shocking amount of weapons and ammunition. They recovered 400 rounds of GPMG ammunition, 1,016 rounds of AK-47 ammunition, empty gun magazines, and even a bulletproof vest. The investigation revealed that this young boy was one of the major suppliers of weapons to the gang that killed Father Cyriacus. He had been trading in guns and ammunition and had been involved in several armed robberies. However, there was still one more person the police wanted to catch, and that was the mastermind behind the entire operation. This man, identified as Charles Nanna and also an indigene of Imo State, had managed to escape arrest. While his gang members were being rounded up in September 2017, Charles fled the country and went all the way to Indonesia, where he stayed in hiding for nearly 3 years. Charles Nanna remained on the police wanted list, but he was far away and also seemed impossible to catch. The police did not give up though. They kept gathering information and also waited for the right moment, which finally came in February 2020. On February 16, 2020, Charles Nanna made a fatal mistake. He returned to Nigeria from Indonesia to perform his traditional wedding ceremony in his hometown. He probably believed that after almost 3 years, people would have forgotten about him or that the police would no longer be looking for him. But he was very wrong. At around 5:40 in the evening, while Charles was celebrating his wedding in his village, operatives from the Special Anti-Robbery Squad stormed the ceremony and arrested him. The police had received reliable information about his return and had been watching and waiting for him. When they confronted him, Charles confessed to his role in the kidnapping and murder of Father Cyriacus. After nearly 3 years of freedom, the mastermind of the crime was finally in police custody. The then Commissioner of Police, Chris Ezike, commended the officers who worked tirelessly on the case. He gave out commendation letters and also awarded 1 million naira to 18 officers who played key roles in arresting the suspects. He praised their commitment, passion, and determination to solve the difficult case.
You saw him on the process of driving down to Banana Junction.
Okay.
When he parked, they told me, the policeman and his chuku, they told him to block him.
Okay.
So when I blocked him, they came down from the vehicle to drag him to our own car.
Okay.
As Corolla park for Banana Junction like this, and policeman say, come down from motor, come tell the Reverend Father say, you are under arrest. You understand me? I no be police. Na him be police. We come down say you under arrest. And the Reverend Father entered the motor for back. You understand me? As he enter for back like this now, me are there for front. Then come they do bidi for back. As this man and me under the front. I come they ask them wetin dey happen for that back. Wetin dey happen? Small time. As this boy now come match break now, then use sellotape. The policeman now use sellotape now. Cover the man nose, cover the man mouth, both eye. The man die.
The man was shouting, my father died, and they call me that my father died. My father is in the mortuary now, please help me. This is the pilot. The pilot to look back. Understand? The policeman, like, to slam him at face. Understand? So the guy looked front again, he ordered him to move. For me, I was stranded. I can't run. I can't talk because my brother, as my brother, betrayed me enough. He betrayed me. He never told me. As a brother, you shouldn't have let me follow you to such mission, which I'm not your member, I'm not your gang, and you know I'm a family man, suffering for my family, to train my family.
Father Cyriacus Onunkwo was ordained as a priest in 2003. He came from Osina in Ideato local government area of Imo State and was a respected member of the Catholic Diocese of Orlu. Throughout his career, he served in various local parishes within Imo State before later serving in a parish in Lagos State. Those who knew Father Cyriacus described him as a hardworking, principled, and intelligent priest who touched many lives. He was passionate about education and often paid school fees for poor students who could not afford them. He was the kind of person who made a real difference in his community, and his death at the age of just 47 was a tremendous loss, not only to his family, but to all the people whose lives he had touched. Corporal Jude Madu was later dismissed from the police force, and all the arrested suspects were detained and later arraigned in court to face the punishment for their crimes. However, there has been no public information on whether all the suspects were eventually convicted. What are your thoughts on this tragic case? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and also subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories.